to do this. You have to enlighten and enliven people with the truth of their being so that the higher frequencies of consciousness get manifested here as a vibration of love. And I'm really anxious and nervous because the energy that came through me this morning when I was washing the kitchen floor was very strange, because I'm washing the floor and I think I've got so much to do. There's so much and so little time. And it's ironic because today is about the concept that you have all the time you need. And we're going to get into that in a couple minutes. But yeah, it's been very interesting. I'm scrubbing the floor away and thinking that. And then the thought pops in my head, William, you have to change this to, these are called shortcuts for your soul. And so that's what this morning thing for the next 2.5 weeks will be called, or shortcuts for the soul. And it literally is shortcuts for the soul. Again, I'm really excited about who's coming on today, what we're going to discuss, and how it's going to flow. Hi, Sophie. Hi, Patricia. Day 2. Yeah, it's really exciting. We're just going to wait a few minutes for people to come on. This is going to be interesting. You have all they called it, you have all the time that you need. And they've changed. I'm very well. I hope you're well too, guys. You have all the time you need is what they said this was to be called yesterday. And to understand this concept, it's funny because whenever they tell me that something is going to be explained and taught, I get placed in the position of having to learn more effectively that which they're teaching me. So a bunch of stuff came up all at once. So I got a little anxious about thinking that there's too much to do and so little time, which is the old human paradigm. We don't have enough time, right? That's probably the biggest emotional challenge that most humans believe. And they tell me it's not, the emotional fear isn't based in your mind or who you are. It's not who you are. Your fear is not who you are. They repeatedly say this. Your fear is not who you are. But whenever you think a thought, your body will register that thought as a reality, because your body can't define the difference between fantasy and reality. So when you think a thought like, I don't have enough time, it stimulates a vibration of fear in the body. And the body perceives reality as either a threat or a pleasure. That's the body. It's strictly an instinctual mechanism that we all inhabit. We all have the joy of living in these animal bodies that are based in fight and flight. And the body can't distinguish between the reality of the physical world or the reality of your mental world. So even when you think a thought like, oh my gosh, I don't have enough time, right? The minute you think that thought, the body immediately registers that there's a potential threat. And the minute the body registers there's a potential threat, it turns on these energies called fear, survival, fight or flight. It now perceives a threat in the form of your thought, implying that something is wrong. There is a potential danger. There is a threat. And the body can only react that way to it. It can't reason like you can. It just reacts. And your job when your body starts to react with ideas like, I don't have enough time, and there's fear triggered in the body, the first thing they say that's important for you to do is to stop. Literally stop and take a slow, deep breath and be in the present moment. Just stop. Take a slow, deep breath and be in the present moment. Your breath is your immediate authority over the instinctual nature of the body. They say, remember that statement. It's very vital you remember that statement. Your breath is the assertion of your authority over the body and its instincts. The minute you begin to breathe slowly and deeply, and you make your body breathe slowly and deeply, it begins to calm down energetically, because one, you're putting it into a function that is slower and more relaxed. So it automatically begins to start slowing down. They say you may need to breathe slowly and deeply multiple times until the body calms. So when you find yourself feeling like you're out of time, or you're hurried, or you're rushed, or you're anxious, stop. Breathe slowly, deeply until your body calms back into the moment with you. And then when the body's calm, they say you can start to go about your chores again, but go about them in that calm fashion. They're saying oftentimes you will get far more done in the energy of being calm and relaxed than most people get done in the energy of this run around. They said humanity has been struggling with this energy of instinct for many millennium, where we still have not mastered this element of our consciousness. The body is only an instrument through which we're meant to express, they say. It is not who you are. It is literally a living organism that you are living through. It is subjective to your thoughts and emotions. It is subjective to the environmental conditions. But you, in your awareness as an individual, have an authority over it that it does not have over itself. In other words, you can tell your hand to open and close, right? You can tell your body to sit and stand. You can tell it to close its eyes, to smile. You have control over this instinctual mechanism, and it is an animal that needs to be trained. That's all the body is. It's just an animal that needs to be trained. And they tell me this repeatedly. Relax, breathe, be in the present moment. You have all the time you need to accomplish what you do. And of course, me being who I am, I sometimes argue and I'll say, well, but I've got to get this done and this done. They said, yes, but if you do it from that feeling of this and this and this and this, you're going to make mistakes. Your mind will not be clear, and your body's going to be wanting to run and hide somewhere. The minute you trigger an idea or thought of fear in your mind, the body will automatically want to go in response the way it's conditioned to. It's got billions of years of consciousness stored in it from many, many lifetimes of experience in different shapes and forms of living organisms. They're all now in this one body, this human body, which is the apex of all of biological creation on this planet. But our bodies still have the history of all acquired experience. And that experience gets brought to the moment whenever something potentially threatens the body or is a perceived threat. Then the body automatically reacts instinctually to fight or flight. And most people are unaware of that reality. The body is strictly a mechanism. It's strictly a mechanism that's meant to be your servant and not your master. And so we have the age of reason has come for the last few hundred years, where we can start thinking and directing the consciousness that is the matter of this form. And they say it's very important to do that. So remember, when you find yourself feeling rushed or hurried, the minute you think you gotta get there, I'm gonna be late. The minute you think any thought that's gonna stimulate or trigger a vibration of fear, your body will automatically produce adrenaline, cortisol, other things that support its fight or flight mechanism. And if you get caught up in it, then you'll start going along with whatever the body thinks it needs to do in order to survive. Because that's the body's primary function, is to survive. It doesn't have any other survival impetus other than to survive, eat, sleep. That's it. It's the body's needs are very simple. And that's why it's surrendered to us. It's because we have a chance to operate it properly. So let's take a few questions on this, because, yes, they're saying it's really important to remember the first point that we said earlier, that whenever you find that you have stimulated or a vibration of fear has been stimulated in your physical nature, that you must assert first your breath. In the intensity of any emotion, whether it is intense fear or intense guilt or intense shame, the intensity of any negative emotion will begin to subside the moment you assume the authority that is given to you to make the body breathe slowly and deeply. The very nature of asserting your authority over your form with your breath begins to produce the experience of liberation from the very thing you think is imprisoning you. You must maintain the power over your body through breath when you find your consciousness engaged in the emotional energies of the body's preservation desire. Very important to use your breath consistently and repeatedly until you have calmed this form down. It will learn from you like any other animal can be trained on this physical dimension. Your body too can be trained to be obedient to your command, to be still and quiet even in the face of difficult situations. You can keep your head about you, as some people say. But it is through your breath is the primary starting point for regaining control over your physical body and the consciousness of your life. But for today, it is understanding that you have all the time you need And when you apply this process of asserting authority over your physical body, you'll begin to feel the process of self-control that enables you to create more effectively the things that you desire in your life, the things you wish to express as your being. That will come when you have authority over this form. But right now, many of you are trapped in the fear and the fancies of the form and not in control of it. Many of you are stuck to the senses and needing to pleasure them in order to feel good, but that is always temporary. But you are eternal. So use your breath to assert your authority, especially in the face of fear. Thank you. Wow. They'll take some questions and we'll see where we go from here. We still got about 8 minutes left today. Well, hi, Nicole. It is a good morning. Hi, Sophie. Wonderful. Good morning. Hi, Bo. Oh, yes, she does have me trained well washing floors. But we like to have our environment clean. Oh, you're very welcome, Trina. Hi, Beta. I've been seeing repeating numbers and don't know what the message is. Can you ask if there is a specific message for me? Again, one of the things they stressed to me is that it's really important that you stay focused in the present with us, that you understand that this concept of understanding that you must learn to assert authority over your physical mechanism rather than being subjected to it is of the utmost importance and will liberate you from other considerations that may be inhibiting you. As to your concerns about the numbers, you do understand that such sequential events are not coincidental. And in fact, we are trying to communicate with you, but you must learn to master this so that you can hear better, because your physical body has your attention, and your attention is caught up on what your ears hear and your eyes see and what your hands feel and what your lips taste. It's important you understand this, that you must not be governed by this. This must be governed by you. And when this is governed by you, you can make it still. And in the stillness, you can hear us. We try to get through to you in many different ways, but until you can still your mind and still your body and quiet and listen, you will not hear us. You'll be trying to hear us with your ears, but we will do our best. We will send signals through radios, and we will send signals through other people, and we will send signals through numbers. But the goal is to truly hear what it is we are here to say to you, to each of you. For we have something for each of you that's unique and distinct. For you are unique and distinct individuals that require very specific things that are separate from other people. Wow. Very good. Thank you, Beta. Good morning, Drusilla. Nicole's asking, does time out mean stop praying and meditating? Is one of the spirit guides named Eric? It's Eric with a K, not with a C. And yes, the answer to the question is not to stop praying. In the silence, receive guidance. Let the silence be your prayer for a while and learn to listen to us. Learn to listen to us with your inner sight, your inner hearing. Hi, Drusilla. Can you say anything on polyvagal theory and if the breath has an effect on it, or basically the vagus nerve? It is not so much important to know all the details of how the breath works. What is important to understand is that your authority over matter is what is at consideration here. Your opportunity to no longer be subjective to the normal considerations of time, space, and matter. And through the beginning of breathing, through the maintaining of that authority, you will gradually begin to understand and hear and know more in the silence that follows when your body is still and quiet. The answer to your question is there is a holistic process that happens in the silence where there is no separation between the parts or aspects of self, but they are governed by the unified concept of who you are as an expression of infinite intelligence. Though the last part there will be some time for you to reach that place, But first you must learn to have this as your servant and no longer as your master. And our goal is to help you achieve that outcome, to understand that this is the servant and not the master. Great question. You're welcome, Beta. Drusilla, I don't feel fear or shame or anything like that anymore, at least for myself. However, I do feel for others, and I don't want them to be hurt. I know in my head that is their journey. That is absolutely true. And the truth is, remember, we are all on. I mean, the fact that all of us are gathered here like this right now indicates that there's a common energy that we're all working with right now. As you begin to begin to align yourself to the consciousness that is who you are as what's the word for that? As the unlimited one, and you bring that forth, you will impart that to others naturally. You will only give to others that which you know yourself to be. You will only give to others that which you think yourself to be. You will only give to others that which you feel yourself to be. And in assisting others, you must first liberate yourself, and in the liberation of your own being will you be able to offer that gift to others. This is so important to understand. To liberate yourself is to liberate others. You will understand this more effectively as you gain your own freedom back. Then you will understand what it is others may need to know or think or say or do to discover theirs. Thank you, Drusilla. That was a great query. Hi, Zach. Okay, this is a good question. Zach is asking, William, I have been seeing an incredible amount of angel numbers myself with all their own meanings. I continue to try to open my real eyes and ears to receive the messages. Is there anything else I can do? They're saying silence. They're saying literally, do not use these ears to hear. Go within to the silence. When your body is completely still and your mind is completely quiet, in the silence, you will hear everything that is there that you need to know. But it is a patient process, for your physical mechanism also has to be reattuned to receive from the silence. For your physical mechanism, which you are extremely identified with, is primarily used to hearing physical sounds or seeing visual things or tasting physical things. You are in the process of retraining it to hear and see without the physical eyes, to allow it to be receptive to these other frequencies of vibration, which are beyond its normal range of perception. And that which is beyond the normal range of your physical body's perception normally instills a vibration of uncertainty or fear, because the body instinctually likes to understand that it is safe in its surroundings. So once you have trained your body that it is safe 100% and that the silence is a good thing for it, it will be open to hearing with you. You'll be able to download the information from us into your consciousness, into this form, to be articulated as the expressions that you came here to articulate uniquely through that form. Great question. Thank you, Zach. I'm so glad technology allows us to record all these things and share all this information with people all over the world. Vanessa is asking, can you tell me who are my spirit guides? They're laughing, Vanessa. They're saying the very first thing you need to do is just ask us. You know us by feeling, but you wish to know us by name. First know us by feeling, and then you will know us by name. The vibrational sensations that you can sense coming into your system as you feel the impact of these physical words coming through the time and space that your body exists in, if you allow yourself to feel the vibration and understand the feeling therein, you'll begin to allow yourself to articulate our names, if that is what you need, or our message, if that is what you require. For we communicate mostly through feeling first. The form follows feeling, always. The form follows feeling always. So remember, I'm going to recap this. It's important you understand that you have all the time you need. This is the big message today. And I think they put it really simply, like just the simple act of breathing when you find yourself feeling anxious or overwhelmed. Stop, assert authority until the body, bring it back in alignment with who you are. You are an infinite, eternal soul. We all are. And when we align our body to that reality, we can get far more done in less time. Believe it or not, you get more done in less time when the body is in alignment with who you truly are. And remember, the essence of who you are is love. It's the essence of what we all are is love. Even these forms, the essence of them is love. But they can only function to a certain level. These cells only have a certain level of consciousness that needs to be trained to a higher function. And I want to thank everybody for coming out today. I'm so grateful that we got to get a chance to do this. And so, yeah, they've changed the name as to Shortcuts for the Soul. If you want to support this work that we're doing over the next 3 weeks, you can offer a donation on my Patreon account. It'll be in the description box below this. You can also during these lives, feel free to make a donation through the what they call the super chats if you want to prioritize your question, because often I can't get through all the questions. And you can click that super chat. You can make a donation to the work that we're doing in the moment too. And I want to say much love to everybody, and thank you for coming and joining us today. And we will see you again tomorrow at 10 a.m. This is going to be a great journey, another 2.5 weeks of connecting every morning, Monday to Friday. I'm excited. And thank you, everybody, for showing up, and thank you for your support. Much love, everybody. Bye for now.